If you are in your 40s and 50s and going to college or university at this moment, I just wanted to say how amazing and remarkable that you actually are for doing this. I know it is a scary thing, and I almost guarantee that people around you are questioning it and saying that it's a stupid idea. Why are you doing that thing? But I wanted to say that you are doing something that they are probably scared of doing themselves. So this was actually in response to Matt Bassett. I had a comment the other day that I thought was remarkable, and I'm just so proud of Matt for doing this. He said he's 58 years old, and he is just finishing his undergraduate degree and thinking of doing his master's to go on and volunteer. I'm not sure what kind of master's that is that he needs to volunteer, or what he wants to volunteer doing, but I just wanted to say how amazing that is and how brave it is to do that. And I have relatives, very close relatives of mine, that are doing similar things, and I have relatives that went back to school and completed their high school when they were older. And I just wanted to say how challenging that was for them to do that. And that's what I want to talk about today, is how amazing you are for doing this. And I just want to give you a little bit of support. So if you don't know me, I am Professor Dave Massac. I'm Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole Reciprocity Project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor for to help you out. So I'm assuming you've gone through this stage where that if you are going back to college or university, you probably have thought about, like, I actually want to do this thing. I want to really do this thing. And then you actually approach it and you start doing it. And when you start taking it, when you start taking courses, people start questioning it and saying that this is a silly thing. Why are you doing this? And as well as you're probably realizing that it's actually really difficult to take these courses. It's never easy. There's not a single person that's going to tell you, that was really easy. And if they are, they're totally lying. What I want to say is that if you're doing that, if you're taking this leap of faith and doing something that's really just an act of courage, I think, to actually go back, that you are changing your family. You are having a dramatic impact on your family. And let me explain this. So if you're 58 years old, maybe you've got a niece, or maybe you have a granddaughter at this moment that is, maybe they're 10 years old and they're thinking of going to college someday in their life, or going to university someday in their life. And if they saw their uncle or their aunt or, their grandparent going back to university and finishing their degree or getting a degree at that stage in their life, they're more likely to continue to actually do this thing, because I see it's not as scary as they thought it was. But if you're anything like me, I came from a family that nobody went to university. It was a really scary thing. It was a really frightening thing for anybody to go away. It does take an act of courage to actually do this, and it seems like such a strange and unusual world. Really, it did, and it was just like totally foreign, and people just did not understand what it actually meant to go away. And so if this is you, and you are taking that leap of faith, and you are jumping into it, you're proving to everybody else that you can, not only that you can do this, but also that this is a worthwhile endeavor. And I also want to point out that if you are in your 40s or 50s, you are really incredibly young at this moment. You still have probably 50 to 60 more years of your life to actually do things that are going to change this world. And there are innumerable people in this world that have made incredible impacts in their 70s and 80s, and they've really changed things, and they made it for the better. And I think that education is one of the best and easiest ways to change this world, because you see where there are missing gaps that we couldn't have seen before, that there are little problems that didn't make quite so much sense. And it's really easy to see that as soon as you get just even a little bit of courses behind you. You start seeing the world totally differently. and you start acknowledging, man, that's really complicated. I should have thought about that. Why haven't I thought about that? And why I haven't changed that? So if there's anything I could tell you at this moment, is that you have a long ways to go in this world, and you could do a lot of things in your 60s and 70s that are going to make a difference, that are going to change. But also the fact that you are an incredible person to actually do this, to pursue this and take that leap of faith when everybody else is saying, why the heck are you doing this at your stage? You should be retiring. It doesn't make any sense. That you are the silliest person around. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your effort. But you and I know that that is not true, because you get to see the world a little bit different than what you saw before. And each time that you take those courses, each time that you maybe write a paper, it's you developing and becoming a better person. So if I can tell you one thing, is for you to actually focus on you, and you to actually make a difference in your own world. Don't worry about what other people are saying, and have the courage to keep going. It is really remarkable what you're doing. So Matt, and actually somebody else that's really close to my family, I just wanted to say that I'm incredibly proud of you, and it is a cool thing that you're doing, and thank you so much for actually changing this world just a little bit and showing everybody else that somebody that's a little older actually can do this, and everybody else can do this as well. So get out there and go make a difference today. You are remarkable.